There be no kind of peace like you beside me. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the vlog. I am dressed for winter because it's snowing out this morning. It's pretty cold. It's in the low 30s, but by noon it's supposed to be around 50 degrees, so that's pretty exciting. I'm currently down here in the basement. We are gonna continue working on framing up the walls. Our plan is today to spend most of the day working on framing up the walls down here in the basement. We've already framed up the walls. You can kind of see way over there. We've got the wall that's separating the gym from the family room, and now we've got to work on this other section of the house. We've got a bathroom going in back here behind me. We've got a mechanical room back there. We've got a massive closet that's gonna kind of house all of the boys' hunting gear and outdoor gear, like snowmobile stuff and whatnot. That closet's gonna be pretty close to our patio doors. That way they can just kind of go out the side and you know, go out to their hunting stand or whatever. Now over here, we've got a bedroom, and then we've got a wall that's gonna be separating it with 2 walk-in closets. And then over here, we've got another bedroom. So we've got a lot of framing to do. Thankfully, it's dry down here currently, even though it is snowing. And I should add, none of these are supporting walls. The only walls that are supporting walls are this wall here and that wall behind me. That's the mechanical room. All the walls that we're gonna be building, we're gonna be using 2x4s, and the bottom plate on all of those, of course, are gonna be treated because it does touch the concrete. And so that's what we're gonna do. The bathroom. All right. Well, it won't take too long. We don't have to move that slider, do we? We can just move this pile of 2x4s.
Better move the slider because if you don't,
Oh, to wiggle it out. Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, can we put it in the mechanical room?
yeah, let's just have
Preston. Yeah, give him a call. Tell him to come down here. I'm sure he won't mind taking a break from his homework. Okay.
I'm gonna push this wall just to here.
Get more depth in the closet.
Yeah. Well, see, this says 2 feet to the inside. I just measured 2 feet to my line, which is to the outside. And so I'm just gonna, and then I had 6 foot. I think I might have measured to the wrong side there. 3'6". Yeah, so I'm gonna move this over 3.5 inches. It's just gonna shrink this
Hallway.
from 4 foot down to like 3'11".
Okay. All right, so here's what we've got going on. We've got to build this first wall. Behind this wall is the bathroom, a huge walk-in closet, and then a small closet. So we've got 3 different doors, and they're all different sizes. We've got one that's 36, one that is 30, to a linen closet, and then one that is 32. So it's gonna take us a while to frame this out because we don't do this every day, and it's a little tricky. We've got the bottom plate laid out. We've just gotta cut another piece. We're a little short. We didn't have enough 16 footers of the treated, but we have plenty of the non-treated wood, so we're good to go. one thing that's so funny, whenever we build or pour a slab or anything, I always see it and I think, this looks really small. Like, have I made a mistake? Is this gonna be big enough? I always think that, like every single time. And then we start to frame the walls and I realize it is big enough. I don't know what it is. You would think adding walls would make it feel like smaller, but it doesn't. Putting the walls up actually makes the entire space feels so much bigger. It's crazy. It's day 2 of framing up the basement walls. We got a ton done, but we unfortunately ran out of lumber. We had enough treated, but for some reason we didn't have enough 10-foot 2x4s, so we had to run back to Home Depot, pick up a few more. We've only got 2 walls left to build. Well, 2 large walls. Only one of the walls has a door in it, so we only have to build 1 header, and then we've got 1 really small wall that's just separating the 2 closets, so it should go fairly quickly today. Once we get the basement done, we're gonna move into the upstairs and start framing those walls, and my guess is that's going to take a lot longer because I ended up changing a lot of the interior walls and how they were laid out as far as our master and our walk-in closet and the bathroom ensuite and the laundry room. All of those rooms were kind of interconnected. And even though the layout was really good, I liked it, something felt a little bit off. So over the winter, I spent a ton of time thinking and planning and reworking everything to get it just right. Because after we framed up our house and I was able to walk through it, something just felt off. I didn't like where the shower placement was. I didn't like where the vanity placement was. I wanted it to be closer to a couple of windows so we could get natural light on that half. After reworking it a ton of times, I ended up moving quite a few walls. Everything is close to where it was. It actually ended up being a lot better. I absolutely love it. I ended up completely rearranging where the mudroom was and our walk-in closet. After touring the Meadowbrook Hall down in the Detroit area and the Ford House and seeing how they did their closet slash wardrobe, everything was built in. They were beautiful cupboards and it was kind of like a walk-through room where you could have like an ottoman and a full-length mirror. I wanted our closet to feel a lot more built in instead of going with what we had before was just like a pass-through walk-in closet that had his and hers on either side. It was gonna be really basic and I'm really glad I scratched that idea and we're going with this other layout. It's gonna work a lot better. I actually ended up with a ton more storage. I think I tripled the size of our storage for the closet and our mudroom stayed the exact same as far as closet space and square footage. The only downside is it's gonna slow us down a little bit because we redrew everything in SketchUp and we can't follow our paper blueprints to build these interior walls on the upstairs. So it will slow us down a little bit now, but we'll be really glad that we took the time now to make it exactly how we want it. So that's what we're up to today. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna bundle up a little bit more, grab some gloves. I've got safety glasses. I'm gonna have to grab a hat. It's pretty windy and raining. So I'll check back in with you guys soon.
Now we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Well guys, that is a wrap. We're done with the basement walls. That feels amazing. Not only did we get all of the walls framed and stood up, obviously leveled out all the headers on all of the doors down here. There's quite a few doors down here. I didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 interior doors and 1 exterior door that's gonna be a fireproof steel door that goes to technically what is outside is actually part of the inside, but it's underneath the wraparound porch. It's cold storage, it's not gonna be heated. So that's gonna be a different door. All of the other doors are interior and we got those all framed out. Not only that, but we got all of the bracing put in on these walls, about halfway up the walls. We thought that would be a really great way to use up all of our scrap material, which we aren't gonna have a lot since we're using it in the walls. So we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna have something to eat, and then we're gonna sit down and look over our modified blueprints, make sure we can wrap our head around where we should start, all of the different door dimensions for all the different rooms and closets and all of that. So all in all, it was a really good day. The sun came out, which makes it even better. Makes it kind of hard to quit actually, but we really should. We've had a long day and we made a lot of progress.
We got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
right, so I am inside right now, and I thought it would be a good idea to explain the details of why we ended up moving a few of the walls and basically just rearranging the primary suite, and why I ended up doing that and how I ended up doing that. So I'm gonna show you guys the actual blueprints, the ones that we had drawn up a couple of years ago now, the ones that we've been working off this entire time up until the interior walls. And so I'm gonna put that up on the screen, and I'm just gonna kind of talk through what it is that I didn't like. First, I'm gonna set down this camera. Hold on a second. There were a couple of things that were really bothering me about this layout. If you take a look at the master suite area, you can see that you enter the bathroom through a door there, and it's like you walk straight into the bathroom and right away there is the toilet. It's not in an enclosed space. Just kind of sit there in the middle of the bathroom. I really didn't like that design from the very beginning. It was just kind of something when we were working through with the architect that we thought, okay, well, we can think on that and we can kind of rework these interior walls later. I ended up reworking it. I can't even tell you how many times I went over it and over and over it. Aaron went over it multiple times. You know, we had to make sure that we were putting all of the different toilets, sinks, the shower basin, the tub drain, all of that would be able to drain properly, and we'd be able to plumb it. Basically, it wouldn't land on a floor truss. After weeks and months of reworking this, I was finally able to come up with a floor plan that I love. So basically what I did was I put all of the plumbing in the bathroom exactly where I wanted it, and I just eliminated our entire closet. I took a wall out. I kept the bathtub exactly where it was, right in front of that window, and then I took the double vanity and I swung it up right next to it, which then kind of made for a really nice walkway straight from entering the bathroom to exiting the bathroom into the laundry rooms. The next thing I did is I shifted the shower over all the way to the left wall there, and that opened up enough square footage for me to be able to tuck in a little toilet room there. And then just to the right of it, I shifted the powder room, which was down in the corner there in the mudroom, all the way up next to it. So now we've got all of our plumbing on the main floor closer together instead of kind of spread out all over the place. And I was able to keep the laundry room in the exact same spot, which I love. That's perfect. So then that leaves the obvious question, where in the world are we gonna put the closet? So I don't know if you guys know this, but we've lived in this cottage for 5.5 years now, and we don't have a single closet in this house. So after living in very tight quarters, you know, of course I put a lot of thought into closets and linen closets and storage and hidden storage and all kinds of stuff. Originally, I was dead set on having that walk-in closet in between my bathroom and my laundry room, so I could just walk in and out, fold my laundry, hang it up, put it away, whatever. That all changed this past winter when Aaron and I toured a couple of really beautiful mansions, estates down in Lower Michigan. So we went to Meadowbrook Hall, which was built by the widow of one of the Dodge brothers that founded Dodge. And then we also toured the Ford home. Both of those estates were absolutely stunning, of course. But what really inspired me a lot and what I took home from both of those tours is their closet space. It was more of a dressing room area, and everything was built in cabinetry that was floor to ceiling, and it was just really open and adjacent to their bedroom. When I saw that, I thought, what a great way to use a lot of square footage but not put up a lot of walls, just to build a separate room that's a walk-in closet just for the sake of having a walk-in closet. So instead of having, you know, this massive walk-in closet, we're just gonna use that space right there off of our bedroom, have it be open to our bedroom, and we're gonna build floor to ceiling, custom cabinetry. Another design detail that I am really excited about, I'll show you on this little sketch here. These sketches aren't great, but I like drawing them because they're just good enough for me later to reference back, to look at, and to remember, oh yeah, that's what I had planned for this. I thought it would be really cool to build a little alcove where the bathtub is. This is just kind of an idea of what I meant by a bathtub alcove. I'd like to have just a little bit of depth, maybe, I don't know, 8-9 inches, maybe up to a foot. I haven't built that yet, but I'd like to be able to hide some shelves back here and either do like a semi-arch or some sort of pretty detail here. That way that bathtub can be like centered on that window, you know, tucked in a little alcove and have a pretty chandelier hanging above it. And then the opposite wall, we have a lot of space here, so we can do hooks, we can do a large mirror directly behind these mirrors. And this is the door going into the water closet, and then this will be an opening going into our shower. So here you can see what the old blueprint looked like and the floor plan, the layout, and this is what we changed it to. This is just a SketchUp version of what we ended up building. A few walls were moved, the plumbing got a little tighter together. We were able to come up with a much better solution for a closet, our dressing room area. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and now that we've got just about all the walls framed up, it makes it so much easier to envision what it's going to be like when we're actually living in the space. So we're really happy with where everything is. Everything feels big enough, it's got a great flow, and I'm very glad that we put in the time and effort to change things around. I am back outside. I am working again today on framing some of the interior walls on the upstairs. We did finish the basement. The only thing we have left to do down there is one partial wall. We've got to build a 2x6 wall that'll fit some plumbing and some vent. But other than that, the basement is completely done, which feels amazing. So you guys have seen, we've been working upstairs. We've gotten almost every single wall framed up here. I love the new layout. It feels amazing. I'm so glad that we took the time to sit down, kind of figure out where we wanted everything to be and the best use of space, because now that we have these walls up and we can walk around and move in here, it just feels right. Everything feels plenty big enough. The flow feels great. So Erin and I are both really happy about that. Now, what I've got to work on today is actually pretty simple. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining out right now. So I'm gonna continue working inside. We do have a couple of walls left to frame up. And the other thing I wanna work on today is getting all of these interior walls secured to our trusses. I'm actually excited about this part of the process because it's going to be very straightforward and simple. And even though our walls are over 9.5 feet tall, I'm going to be able to do this by myself, and I'm not going to have to use a ladder because I'm going to be using a simple 2-step process. So what I'm going to be working on today is making sure I have all of my top plates secured to the trusses anywhere where they intersect. All the walls that I'm going to be working on today upstairs, they're just partition walls, which means none of them are bearing any weight. They're not load bearing walls. So this job is going to be pretty straightforward. I do this from the ground because I have a couple of different extensions. I'm going to be using a deflector screw from Simpson Strong Tie. I'm using the 6-inch length because we have a double top plate on our walls. And in the SDPW, Simpson Strong Tie deflector screw kit, they do come with 2 different attachments because it is a 2-step process. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pre-drill a hole through both top plates, making sure that I stop short of the truss. And then once I go through and get all of my top plates pre-drilled, and then use the driver bit to sink all of my deflector screws into the top plates. When you sink these, they have a stop on them, so they automatically pop out when they're done, so you don't accidentally sink them too far. These deflector screws are gonna help eliminate any shifting or drywall cracks that could possibly happen when the trusses expand and contract, and it's gonna help eliminate any squeaking or anything like that down the road. I love that they're easy to use and I can do it by myself without a ladder. Whenever I'm working by myself, I always feel a lot safer if I don't have to be up on a ladder. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna get back to work and get these all installed. I am done. That was super easy. Feels so good to be able to come in here, walk around. Another thing that's really cool is I keep thinking, oh, well, now that I can see all the different rooms partitioned off, I can start thinking about flooring and how I want to transition different types of flooring. I'm not going to be doing a lot of different flooring, but I do have a couple of kind of complicated design ideas. So seeing the walls laid out are gonna help me narrow down flooring options. The only downside to seeing all these walls go up, as I was telling Aaron, as we were framing everything up, I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a lot of not just hanging drywall, but it's gonna be a lot of taping and mudding and sanding. Drywall is by far my least favorite do-it-yourself project. But over the last 20 years and I don't even know how many projects, I've gotten pretty good at it. So unless I get a decent quote, Aaron and I will be hanging it because I am not strong enough to do all of that by myself. No way. I'm most likely gonna be finishing the drywall on my own. So that's a little bit of a daunting task. So just knowing all of that makes me really glad we didn't put any more walls up in this house. I'm really happy with the ones we have. So anyway, I'm really cold. I'm gonna go inside and get warmed up and finish those last few walls maybe tomorrow. If it warms up a little bit, I'll come out here and give you guys a tour. It's starting to rain. I know filming out here for audio isn't great when it is raining, so I'm gonna wait for a little bit nicer of a day, come out here and show you guys all of the walls and the layout and give you guys a tour at the end of this video. All right guys, I am out in the house. My apologies for all of the sound that you hear. It's pretty windy out and we still have house wrap over our windows. We had a little bit of a problem, a mix up with our windows, so we're still waiting on all of our upper windows to arrive. So we haven't been able to put those in yet, even though the weather has warmed up, it's nice out. It's actually nice enough to start flashing and installing the windows, so that's pretty exciting. Even though it's a little confusing just looking at all of these, you know, framed out walls, I thought it would be fun to show you the layout. So directly behind me is the garage. This is the door that you walk into the mudroom from. Back behind me we'll have a coat closet there. Now this wall behind me, we have a window on each side and we're gonna build a little wraparound storage bench so people can sit down, take their shoes off, hang up their coats, and after they do that, they'll walk around the corner and walk through this opening, which leads into the kitchen, dining, living room space. So that's the mudroom. I'm gonna try and not turn around too many times and make you guys dizzy, but back to where I started. That's the garage door, and directly in front of it, in this mudroom, you could, if you wanted to, walk straight into the powder bath. So that's the door here in the center. The door on the right leads into the laundry room. The door to the left of that powder room leads into the primary suite. So walking into the laundry room, I am walking through a really wide opening here because we're gonna have double doors coming into here. Just behind the door, we'll have a decent sized closet, and then our washer and dryer will go next to them. And on the other side, we'll have another closet here. As I turn to the left, I'm walking through another set of double doors directly into our primary bathroom. Behind me on this wall will be a double vanity. We have a large window here, and our soaker tub will be directly centered on this window. Now if I turn this way, you can see behind me, on the other side of the soaker tub is a large walk-in shower, and right next to that is the water closet. So as I walk through this bathroom, you can see behind me the opening that does take you into the laundry room, and mirrored on this side is another double door opening that leads directly into the primary bedroom. We have 4 windows in here. We're highly considering adding a gas fireplace to this wall that's kind of like up in the air. And as we walk around this corner, we have a large area that we'll be using as a dressing room slash closet. Like I said before, I plan on building some cabinetry that's custom that goes floor to ceiling. We'll probably have a bench in here. This wall behind me will be some full-length mirrors. There'll just be a cozy little area off to the side of our master bedroom here where we can just get changed. It's gonna have more of a dressing room feel and not really so much like a typical walk-in closet. And it's gonna provide plenty of storage space. So very excited about that. So of course it feels really good to us to have all of these walls up, everything finalized and figured out. I'm so glad that we were able to, use all of those salvage doors that we got off of Marketplace. Not only did that save us a ton of money, but they're gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a big project because those doors didn't come with any casings and they're all arched. So we're gonna have to build out arch casings for all of these, and they need to be refinished. So I definitely have a lot of work ahead of me as far as getting those doors whipped into shape. I think what I'll do is sand down the doors first, practice some stain colors, and try and see if I can get it close to the type of flooring I want. I've already ordered some flooring samples, and so I wanna make sure that if I decide to stain these doors instead of paint them, that I can get a color that looks really good with the hardwood flooring that we're gonna be using. So that's a big project that I've got to tackle this summer. I hear that my son has come from school and he's let the dogs out and they're going nuts. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me and for following along as Aaron and I build our DIY dream house. There's gonna be a lot more projects and a lot more videos coming, and I will talk to you guys soon.